right, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren here. Let me get this over here where it belongs. Welcome to our virtues pick for today. And we have a great virtue to focus on today. And that word that we're going to be focusing on is respect. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Don't we all want that? And don't we want to see it demonstrated towards us? So let's read the description first, and then we'll talk a little bit about respect. And we're going to approach it, I think, a little different today because we haven't talked maybe about it this way before. So respect is an attitude of honoring ourselves and others as people of value. We care for each person's dignity. Everyone has the right to expect respect. We show respect in the courtesy of our words and in our tone of voice. We are all exquisitely sensitive to respect. When we treat others as we would like to be treated, we raise the level of trust and peace in our relationships. Respect is having reverence for the earth and all living things. When we live respectfully, we are a source of peace in the world. So we're just going to put this out here. This respect has a lot of different facets to it, including respect for the environment, right? And respect for animals and all the other living things around us. But, as I was reading this morning, as I opened this up and read this, I was thinking about respect from the idea of how we show respect to others and how much it demonstrates how much we even honor ourselves. So for me, when I think about demonstrating respect for others, it starts with our words. It starts with the way we speak to other people. And, that's the tone of voice, the pitch, the facial gestures, the facial expressions, and hand gestures. There's all kinds of things that come into play with that. And, I think that, that's something that I'm always, I say always, I shouldn't say that. That's something that I'm aware of often. And I want to continue to improve in that. Not only from my viewpoint, but more importantly, from the viewpoint of the person receiving the words. So what might be respectful to me may not be respectful to them. And we've used this example multiple times, but I'm going to do it again. Respect, like all of the virtues, is demonstrated in different ways in different parts of the world and demonstrated in different ways in different families and communities, different ways in the school system. And so respect, we have to understand the circumstances that we're in. We have to understand the surrounding that we're in and the place that we're at. So, respect in our house is obviously going to look different than respect in this classroom in the school. It's going to look different than respect would look like on a sports team. Let's say we're playing a game, and so respect is going to look a little bit different there. If we're on a team, a soccer team, a martial arts classroom, training, respect is going to look a little bit different. And so we have to be aware of where we are and who we're dealing with, how they esteem or how they see respect being shown. And so that, I'm going to go back to this again because it's so important for us in our families to clarify exactly what respect looks like in our family if we expect that respect is going to be shown to us. And if we're going to demonstrate this virtue to others, we have to know what they expect. And so that's true for our children as we're raising our family. Our family members need to know what is the family vision, or how do they identify respect in the family? And that's just a key to that. We've so much put emphasis on, especially with ourselves and with our kids. So we've put so much emphasis on the idea of self-esteem And I read an interesting term the other day, and the term was people esteem. And I was thinking about that people esteem in relationship to respect. And that's really what respect is, isn't it? It's valuing other people, it's valuing those around us. So, as a parent, how am I going to draw out of our child this wonderful virtue that they already have, but may not have developed fully? And that virtue of respect. How do we do that? And I think if we think about it from the viewpoint of people esteem, that might be a way of thinking about it. So if we esteem or if we value others, if we're respecting others, obviously, some of the things that are going to come up is obviously the manners, right? So we want our children to learn what the manners are for your society, whatever society that might be. And even in one country, there might be ways that we demonstrate manners in, let's say, in the South might be different than in the North, or in the West might be different than in the Midwest, or in the city environment might be different than in a country environment. So we need to be sensitive to those things so that we know what it is that our kids need to understand. And then secondly, another way of helping our kids to develop this virtue of respect is by helping other people. And so as a parent, what if I took time to help friends and neighbors? What if I took time to serve others in some fashion in our community so that we can be helpful to them and demonstrate that we respect them as a human, and we want to give them as much dignity as possible. And so taking our children on these kinds of activities that we have will help to build in them, as we use our words and demonstrate it through actions, help it to build in them that part of respect, and that is helping others. And then, of course, we want our children also to respect everyone because we're all humans. And so we have to put them into situations and help them to see situations where they're not just seeing the same kind of people that they are. So if I'm a parent, I want to make sure that I expose my child to people of different races, of different religions, people who have different values, all of those things we want them to be exposed to so that we and get to know them. And I think we commented on this yesterday on that the word was friendliness. I believe it was yesterday. And we talked about getting curious. And so, one faith may have different ways of doing things or celebrating certain holidays or whatever that might be different than holidays that we celebrate, or one community may have different types of food or whatever. But if we're not curious about that and and know that whatever it is that they're doing is special to them, and just being excited to learn about different I don't want to say groups of people, but different nationalities and different religions and different political views and different whatever, the diversity of all this, and exposing them to that and doing so in a neutral kind of way where we're just curious is so respectful. So that's how I'm thinking about it today. And I know for myself, what am I going to do? As I meet people, they're not going to be the same as me. If it's only because of age or if it's because of background or whatever it might be. And so I want to be curious, and in being curious, I want to honor them as people of value and demonstrate that I recognize that every person deserves that kind of dignity and respect. So that's how I'm thinking about respect today. And I guess I talked a lot about that, didn't I? So I really went past the time I normally do. But it's such an important word and such an important value that we all have, and yet we need to continue to develop it because we sometimes get in our own way of demonstrating it. So if we do that, as the description said, we are going to be a source of peace in the world, and ultimately, in my mind anyway, that's the ultimate goal. So thank you very much for being here today. As we go in the forth in the day today, let's focus on this virtue of respect. And if you haven't done so already, check out our YouTube channel with all kinds of virtues. And each day we do this live. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out and subscribe to it. We would love to get this idea of demonstrating respect and demonstrating all of the virtues that we all have inside of us to a greater audience. And so that's kind of my goal there. So thank you very much for being here. And until next time, keep practicing the virtues and focus on respect today and the 4 C's of successful families. And that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time.